Here we go. All right. So, good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day here. So, yoga outdoors. Yay. You're going to need a couple blocks today for sure. And a strap would be nice. Um, I don't think we're going to use the blanket unless you want to have a blanket to sit upon. So, feel free to grab your blanket and sit on it. And Carrie, there's one in the house if you want it. Um, so, because sometimes, especially with some of the things we're going to do, can be nice to get those hips up a little bit, just right over to the left. But otherwise, let's start by sitting well and sit well for your body, right? So watch the knees, watch the ankles, all that stuff. Feel free to sit up on your blanket or your pillow for this part of the class. And then just start to roll the shoulders. There you go. Right. Excuse me while I clear my breath. And so just start to roll the shoulders, start to shake it out. A lot of us have been traveling a bit lately, and so the whole body gets a little bit tense and a little bit tight as we're out traveling. So it can really help to soften this up. And then inhale, reach the arms up, grab your right wrist and take it over to the side. Good. Inhale, center. Grab your left wrist, go over to the side. Oh, good. Center. Go ahead to the other side again, grabbing that right wrist, just stretching it out. And left wrist. And come back to center. Open those arms up really wide. Take the shoulders or the arms right out from the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and down. Low belly tones a little bit, just so we don't go into an arch. And then press the hands back as if you're pressing into a wall behind you. Feel the big squeeze of the shoulder blades. Good. And then release. Just touch your hands forward. And exhale, open wide. Go easy, no strain. Try not to let the head jut forward. And center. Good. Last one right here. Open, open, open. Good. And then internally rotate. Take the hands behind you. Interlace those hands. Press the shoulders back and down. The fingertips are just down, or the fingers are down by the floor. And you're just opening up your shoulders. And breathe for a second here. How does that feel? What's happening to your head, your neck, right? Is it hard to keep your chest upright here? Good. Couple more breaths right here. And release it and shake it out. Good. And roll it out again. Grab your strap. And it doesn't have to be super wide, but it's got to be wide enough to come behind your body if you can do that. And you may not be able to. Your shoulders might not allow that. But take the strap nice and wide. Bring it up over your head. Pause. Soften the fingers that are holding that strap because we tend to over grip. And with the strap over your head, I want you to curl your knuckles down toward the inside. So you're curling your hands, you're stretching those outer wrists and outer forearms, and then open it up and turn them the other way so palms kind of go up. Good. Turn them in, big stretch. Watch the head, watch the neck, and up. Good. One more. Curl down. Just stretch the backs of the hands. This is really the stretch we need more because we do tons of poses with the hands the other way. And up and back. Good. And then take the strap over to your left. Keep some tension on the strap. Reach the right arm up toward the ceiling. Good. Center. Go the other way. Whoo. Yeah. So once you find the side bend, stretch that arm. So stretch the left arm. Good. Center. One more, both sides. Just breathe. Big tone to the belly. Reach the right arm up. And center. Go to the other side. Reach the left arm up. And center. This time, bend the elbows. Take the strap behind your head. And inhale straight up. Exhale. Soften the fingers. I just realized I was gripping there. And bend, watch the head, watch the neck. Everything stays in alignment. Two more. Just stretch it down and up. Last one right here. Breathe and then pull against your strap. Good. Shake out the head, shake out the neck. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let it go. Ooh, yeah, shake it out, everybody. And then release the strap off to the side. Inhale the arms up. Take the hands behind your head as if you're lounging. I have a hummingbird right by my head here going, what's going on? There's my food. And press the elbows back, but don't lift the chin. So press the back of the head into the hands, the elbows back, and then see if you can lift the chest and look up a little bit. Yep, just stretching that whole back body, right? That might feel pretty tense, so don't overdo it. And then come back to neutral. Tuck your chin, but keep your body fairly upright. And take it to neutral. Good, one more. Open the elbows first and then look up. Take the head center, drop the chin, watch your neck. And center and release it. Oh, that's better. Good. And then let's straighten out your legs. You're going to need at least one of your blocks coming up. So if it is not nearby, go ahead and grab it already. What a beautiful day. I'm taking my outer shirt off. There we go. All right, so let's sit really well again. Blanket under the hips makes perfect sense here. Let's find a good solid staff pose, Dandasana. Move the flesh out from the thighs and feel the legs pretty well centered, right? Open up the shoulders, let the hands come to the floor. Little bit of tone to the belly, you know that by now. Press the big toe mounds away from you, stretch through the inner legs. And imagine that you could lift your right leg from the inner thigh. Okay, so this is going to come back to haunt you later. So think of lifting, it's still going to lift straight up, but imagine instead of just lifting, you're kind of focused on the inner right thigh. So lift up and down. Yep, go to the other side. Think of the inside leg making the move and lift up and down. Yeah, and you can lean back a little bit if you need to. Just lift the other leg. Feel the inside doing the lifting, almost as if you could turn your foot out, but I don't want you to. And lower, good. And lift the other side. Lower, good. This time, lift your right leg, hold, see if you can sit upright. If you can maintain a neutral spine, take the arms up. We've done this a zillion times. Getting these legs warmed up, bend the knee, bring it into your chest, step it over, lift even taller. Wrap your arms around and lift up tall. And again, feel the back body just start to engage here. Big deep breath. And then take your left hand around your knee or your left arm around your right knee and twist to the right. Fingertips go back. Chest is open. No strain in your head, your neck, right? Just feeling this little baby twist. Big deep breath. And come to center. I want you to go the other way. So the right hand goes inside the leg and the left hand goes back and behind. So two-way twist. Breathe. That's it. And come back to center. You got that leg. Maybe the fingertips go back. Lift your foot. Take it away. Stretch it out. Lift tall. Take the arms up. And exhale everything down. All right, same thing, left side, you're lifting from that inner line. So it's a weird thing to think about. Lift tall, hands are either behind or they're lifted. Breathe, gonna find that core work happening, right? Good, press down through that leg, bend the knee, step it over, lift up tall. Wrap your arms around, lift up taller, taller. Make yourself more tall. Breathe, just feel that sweet, sweet little lift of the spine. And then take the right arm, wrap it around your knee, start to twist to the left, take the fingertips behind. See if you can keep a lot of width between your shoulders. That's it. And release that twist. Take your left arm inside that leg and twist to the right. Breathe, everybody. and come back to center. Take those arms up optionally, lift your foot, release it, press it out, lift tall, and set it down, shake it out. Good. Bring both feet to soles of the feet together, little Baddha Konasana here, and just warming up. So don't make it a big move. Don't make it really tight. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. See how that feels. That's it. And then maybe a little baby circle with your body, just small, right? Inner thighs warming up here. Circle the other way. Some of you are going to have your feet out a lot further away from the groin just because the knees don't like to be real compressed. And come to center, lift up tall, hold your ankles, but don't pull on them. You're really kind of resisting. So draw the shoulders down, lift really tall. You're resisting that stretch with those ankles. And release it, bring the knees up to center. Good, you're gonna take those legs wide, but not super wide. And then you're gonna take one of your blocks at the flattest level and you're gonna bring it inside your right ankle. Now, again, this is someplace where a blanket might help with the hips. We're gonna start by just leaning back a little bit. So start easy and build on that. Draw the shoulders back. You know, there's no slouching in my class. So I'm like, I was probably like a nun in a prior life. Now, sit up, no slouching. Good. So draw the shoulders back. Keep the elbows soft. Press down through your left leg and keep it where it is. And then lift from the inner thigh of your right leg, lift up, go over your block and purposefully set it down. So no like block, right? No flopping down. And then lift and go over. Good. Lift it up, come across, lift up and go over. Good. Just one more this way. Lift up, come across and lift up and down. Good. So if that was easy, no big deal, we're going to come to a nice upright seat. So instead of leaning back, we're going to lean forward, take your hands to your heart. Your thumbs are going to be your indicator, right? If you feel your chest dropping into the thumbs, you know the hands have to go back. So here we are again, 3 more, same leg. Lift up, come over, don't let it plop down. Good. Lift up. Think about the inner thigh making that first move. Over and over. Woo, good. One more right here. Lift and lift. Good. And release. Shake it out. So that was phase 2. That was easy. You take the block up to second level. Now, what are we working here, right? We're working some of the inner thighs, but we're really working the hip flexors. And if those are either weak or tight, this is hard. And the higher you bring that leg, the harder that's going to be. So choose your challenge. I was watching a teacher earlier today, and he said, if it is challenging for you, you are doing what you're supposed to do. Don't feel like you always have to go to the next level. All right, so hands are either behind to keep you lifted or they're at your heart. You got to think about it, right? Lift from that inner thigh, lift. Just minimize that lean back. Good, take it up and over, just 3. Lift, whoo. And over, yep, trust me, I feel this. And up. And over. Whew, good. Shake it out. We're almost done. You know we got to go one more. I've been playing with this 3-way blocks a lot lately. Choice is flat, middle, high, no blocks. You're just going to sit and watch. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Hands behind or hands to your heart. Here we go. Lift up and over. Whew, yeah. And up. Squeeze the low belly. Lots of core work here. Lift up and back. Good. Last one. Lift up. Woo, feeling that leg. And up and over. Well done, everybody. Just set the block aside for a second. Draw the backs of the knees up and come back to Baddha Konasana, softening up that little pose. Those are fun. They're kind of interesting to me to play with and what muscles have to work in order for me to lift that leg up. Way harder when you're seated to lift the leg than when you're laying down or even standing to a point. All right, let's go to the other side. And if you open too wide, it's just going to be, it's just the body mechanics don't tend to work. So that's why we're not going as wide as maybe we could. So we're starting on the lowest level. Hands are behind. One side often different than the other. So you'll get to see. When you're ready, let's lift up, over, up. Good. 2 more. Don't forget to breathe. Last one. And over. Good. Lift up tall. We're going to keep the block low. You remember what we did, right? We're either going here or we're going here. Hands to heart. Here we go. 1. Belly squeezed. Over. And 2. I'm watching my leg like it's going to do something different. Good. 3. Woo. And release. Just shake, 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 shake. Good. If that was easy-ish, take that block to the second level. Again, the hands can come back. You just don't want to lean more than necessary, or the hands come to your heart. Fire up the leg that's not moving. Here we go. Lift. Think about the inner thigh and over. That's 1. Right tendency to want to go fast. That's 2. Go slow. And exhale. Whew, good. Sit tall. Shake it out. And last one here. You pick your level. Lift from your chest. Squeeze the low belly. Hands can be behind you. All right, last one. Here we go. Up and over. Whew, and over. This side is interestingly feeling a little bit more struggle. Maybe it just knew what was coming. And last one. And over. Lift tall, everybody. Move your block out of the way. Grab the back of your knees and come to Baddha Konasana one more time. And shake it out. Oh, yeah, right? Good energy work there. All right, so let's come on up off our behinds. Your blocks are going to be at the front of your mat. I don't know which front I want today, so I'll start here. Maybe I'll start here. And then come up to table pose. Now, if you have a blanket, I would cushion your knees, right? It doesn't need to be a big bulky thing, but definitely cushion the knees if you're on a hard surface. And then spread your fingers. Plant through the index and thumbs. Try not to let the thumbs go way over to the sides. Keep them kind of equal distance from the rest of your fingers. And then a few cats and cows here. Good. Inhaling as you lift. Exhaling as you release. Good. 2 more. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. And then a nice neutral spine, a little bit of side stretch. So take your left hand, reach it over to the right edge of your mat, and then lower your right elbow, drop your chest toward the floor. You should feel a really nice stretch along that whole left side. And maybe you even wiggle your hips a little bit side to side. And you'll feel that whole left side just getting a sweet stretch. If you've been traveling a lot, if you've been in a car and a plane, right, that all the ribs need some good stretching. One more, just stretch it. And then press into your right hand to lift back up. Take the left hand back where it was and go to the other side. Right hand reaches over and across. Drop your left elbow to the floor, drop your chest, maybe even your forehead to the floor or to your, I kind of rest my forehead on my left forearm and rock the hips side to side, just big stretch through that side body. Good, couple more little wiggles side to side. One more. And then press into your left hand to press all the way up and plant the hands again. Now, some of my wrist folks out there, you could probably drop to elbows, or even better, you know, come into your blocks and drop to elbows just so you're not quite as low. I think that would be helpful, and I just wouldn't worry about the upper body. So come into neutral spine, press the right leg back. Now, it's so subtle, but I want you to think about lifting your right leg from the inner thigh, right? So when we do that, it helps us to stay externally rotated. So it helps the toes to stay pointing down. And you can even look through your hands and look at your toes and see if they're mostly pointing down. Flex your foot, tone the belly. Optionally, take the left arm out. Find your breath. Little balancing table. If you're on your elbows, just don't worry about the arms. Work with the legs. And then let the left hand come down. Point your right toes. Tap your big toe. And then lift up from the inner thigh. Good. 3 more. Down and lift. It's just a really subtle awareness here. 2 more. Lift. Pointing that toe. Last one. Lift. And lower, release. Take the knee back to the floor. Feel free to shake out those wrists if they're chatty. Tone the belly, press your left leg back. Square the hips, tone the belly again. Lift from your inner thigh. And one side might be different than the other. And if you tend to really externally rotate, you might feel this more than not. So pause here, take the right arm out as an option. Find your breath. Press into your right foot. That'll help stabilize. Lower that hand, point your toes, tap your foot, lift from the inner thigh. That's it. Couple more. Lift and lift. Last one. Lift and release it. Nice job, everybody. Plant the hands one more time. Externally rotate the shoulders. Remember to gather up whatever it is between those elbows and press back to downward facing dog. Once you're there, let's pedal the feet. Shake it all out. Start to shake out the hips. And lower down to the knees. We are almost done with the floor work. Good. So kickstand your left foot out to the side. We've been doing this one a bit too. Your left hand lines up with your left shoulder. You turn to the side and your right foot extends out. Right hand to hip. Now, what are we doing here, right? So the hips have to press forward a little bit. Press into the top of your left foot. Press the hips forward. Draw the belly and the front ribs in. So we're making this nice little sweet line. And then I want you to point your foot on the right. So point your toes. I'm leaning onto my big toe and lift the leg straight up to the hip. Yep. And tap your toe. Think about that inner thigh lifting and down. Good. 3 more. Lift. Go slow, especially on the way down. Lift. Down. Last one, I want you to hold. Point the toe. Spin that thigh so that it is nice and open. Take the right arm up. Take the right arm over your ear optionally. And then lower your big toe back to the floor while the arm's extended. Big stretch. Lift that side body. Lift, lift, lift. And squeeze it all up. Release your hand down to the floor. Shift your hips. Lower your knee. Yeah. Good. We're going to switch sides. Shake things out if they need to be. Good. All right. Here we are again. You're on your knees. You're going to kickstand your right foot out. You're going to extend the left leg long. Shift that right arm so it is lined up with your shoulder, but slightly forward. Why the slightly forward? If you haven't heard me say this before, when we lift the knee or lift the leg, our bodies will shift forward and we don't want to overshoot the wrist. So that's why that is. Hand to hip. Let's tone everything to the center. Both hips press forward, but your right foot is pressing into the floor for stability. Good. Point your toes and feel your big toe on the floor. Breathe. Lift that leg up. Imagine that someone is like that left thigh is on an elevator and you're lifting it up and lowering it down. Yeah. Lift it up. Lower it down. You're just tapping big toe. Lift. We got 3 left. Lower. Little bit of butt work, right? Lift. And lower. Woo, 1 more. Hold. Squeeze the belly. Take the left arm up. This is all optional. Take the left arm over your ear. Keep your head neutral. And then drop the big toe back to the floor and reach that whole left side up to the ceiling. You're making a huge C curve here with your fingers going one way, your toe going the other way. And then squeeze that arm back up. Release that hand to the floor. Release your knee. Just sit back maybe on those heels and stretch out your upper body. Good. And then come to, good, that's it, that's enough. Come to table pose. Step forward with your right foot. Come into your alignment. Lift your left knee off the floor. Turn yourself to the side. Come into a wide leg forward fold. Turn your toes out to the side. Bend your knees, hands to knees, and come on up to standing. Good. Just heel toe those feet. If you have something on your mat, take it off. Grab your blocks. So this one I learned from one of the, learned from one of the teachers that I was watching this morning. I thought it was really cool, especially when I tried it. So I wanted to incorporate that into class today. So you're going to take your blocks to those hip creases, right? Just where your hips crease when you bend. They're flat, they're wide. You can even diagonal them down just a little bit. Your feet are not super wide, but your toes are pointed out and they're wider than your normal. And you'll know when you come down. From here, press the blocks into your thighs and start to bend forward and sandwich those blocks between your belly and your legs. And then if your back allows, just come on down, hang down toward the floor. Your fingertips are to the floor or they're to your ankles. And I want you to start to create space in those hip creases. So I'm going to think about this for a while. First of all, how does that in itself feel? Blocks are one size, people bodies are different size. So maybe this doesn't feel really good. Maybe you need a blanket rolled up instead because that would feel better. But then start to wiggle your hips a little side to side so that you feel the inner thighs stretch as you move to one side and the other side. Just play. No seriousness about this. Just see what your body is talking about. And then maybe lean back into your heels. Make sure your fingers are on the floor enough to keep you from going all the way. And then maybe lean forward and lean back and lean forward. And then come right to the center of your feet. Press those blocks into your thighs, soft back of the knees. Your hands are either still on the floor or elbow to opposite hand or hand to opposite elbow to just hang out here. Often this is pretty easy and safe for those low back folks of mine, but you be the judge. You're your own teacher here. That's it. And then feel those inner thighs. Just feel like maybe a little squeeze in versus a press out. What changes there? Use your breath. A lot of times we go from pose to pose to pose. We don't take the time to get a good stretch. So here we are, my darlings. And then let the hands come back to the floor. Last one here. I want you to walk your hands forward and then press your hips back as if you were doing the longest, widest down dog possible. Yep, and just stretch through those back hamstrings. Good. Walk the hands back under your shoulders, bend your knees. Take those toes out a little more if you need to. Hands come to your blocks and you press up. And then just pause for a second and feel what just happened. Set one block down, take the other block between your thighs, just a little bit of a reset here. Squeeze in, just squeeze that block. It should feel really nice. Yeah, and release. Good. So blocks are back on the floor. You won't need them for now. Now, this pose, simple, it seems, could be a little tricky on your balance. So if you're near a wall or a piece of furniture, maybe you go there instead. Might not need it. So I'm going to mirror here. You're going to take your left leg and put it in front of your right leg. Now, some people will have their feet close together. That's harder. I would keep a little space between them if you can. Now, my back knee pushes into my front knee just so I don't lock out or hyperextend the back leg. With your left leg forward, your left hand goes to your hip. Your right hand goes to the back of your head. You're like, picture time. No. Draw the elbow back, push into your left hip, and stretch to the side. Again, this can be a little tricky on the balance. Once you're here, if you're still okay, I want you to open the chest a little bit. So you're just gazing at the ceiling or the beautiful blue sky. Go easy. If it doesn't feel good, you're probably a little too deep. Breathe. Oh, and come up. Switch hands. Take that hand to your hip. Take your left hand behind your head. Open up the elbow and stretch. Ah, how's that feel? As you engage the legs, it helps your balance, just so you know. And center. Whew. Good. Both hands to your hips. Undo your feet. Go the other way. Bend those knees. Soften, or it's really a softening, right, of the knees. So right leg for you all is in front, right hand to the hip, left hand behind your head, and we're doing a little stretch. The big thing here in this pose is just to try not to collapse your chest. You don't have to go really far over. Just don't collapse the chest forward. How's that feel? Maybe the chest opens a little, maybe not. And release. Whew. Switch hands. Which way was I going? There we go. That's the challenge of mirroring. I'm like, I forgot which side I was on. Oh, yeah, that feels good. And center, release the hands. Good. Have your blocks in front of you. You might need them. Sorry for that miscue. And then one more time, take your left foot in front of your right. Bend the back knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come to blocks. And breathe. Now, the challenge here is not to hyperextend that back knee. So focus on keeping that knee softly moving forward, just soft. Should feel a big old stretch for that hamstring. And then if you want a little more, I want you to lean your hips toward the right. Try to stay in the middle of your feet, everybody. Good, come center, undo the feet first. Bend your knees and come up. Inhale, reach. Exhale to your heart. Let go. Switch sides, right foot in front of left, soft back knee. Inhale, take it up. Exhale all the way down. Last little stretch here. Your hands come to your blocks. Elbows are soft. Just breathe. Maybe a little lean to your left. And press up. Release the feet first. Bend your knees, hands to knees, and come on up. Woo. All right, shake it out. That's the whole kit and caboodle. That's the big stretch. Okay, blocks go back to the front of your mat. Inhale, let's take it up. Exhale all the way down. Soften the knees, everybody. Step back, right leg. Lower your right knee to the floor. Let's get everything a little more warmed up. Press into the top of your right foot. Inhale, take it up. Exhale to the floor. Good. Same side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale down. Keep your right hand on the mat. Take your left arm up. Little twist here. Use your breath. Optionally, hand behind head. Open it up a little bit more. Just a little. Don't force it. And release. Hand comes to the floor. Lift your right knee. Step back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Come to plank pose. Big deep breath, everybody. Fire up the arms. Feel the back body working. Lower your knees. Keep those elbows to your side body. Lower down, little chaturanga. Release, baby cobra. I call it a baby cobra because I don't want you pressing all the way up just yet. Good. Exhale, press into your knees. Downward facing dog. Use your breath. Look through your hands and step forward, right leg. Take the time to come into your alignment. Lower your left knee, undo your toes. Inhale, take it up. Oh yeah, feel your body starting to wake up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale it up. Last one, hands to the floor, let them stay. Left hand stays down, right arm reaches up. Maybe that hand comes behind the head just to open that elbow a little more. Go easy. And release. Good. Plant the hands, lift your knee. Step back, downward facing dog to plank pose. Elbows down. Chaturanga. Baby Sphinx or baby cobra. If that's too much, don't do it. Lower down. Bend your knees, push into your knees. Draw your belly deep and try to push up. Plant the feet. Downward facing dog. Well done, everybody. Everybody breathe. Good. Look through your hands. Step forward, left leg. This time, knee up or knee down. If your knee, either way, take your hands to your knee. Lift up. Inhale up. Now, if your knee is up, you got to fire up this back leg even more, right? If your knee is down, you're good. Exhale, hands go down. Inhale, the arms go up. 2 more, down we go. Core work. And up. Woo, good. Last one. Inhale it up. Woo. Let those hands come to the floor or to one of your blocks and take the left arm up. Breathe. What's happening with your back leg? Feel that leg working. Don't let the foot splay out to the side. Exhale that hand to the floor. Well done, everybody. Plant the hands, step back down dog. Here we are. You know, you can always take a rest here. Plank pose. Knees up or knees down. Chaturanga. Release to a low cobra. Breathe. Lower down, bend your knees, push into those knees and push back up. Release those feet, down dog. Look through your hands. Let's finish this. Right foot forward. Whew. Always make sure your stance is wide enough. Squeeze the inner thighs. Left knee up or down, hands to knees, and come on up. Inhale. You can stay here, you know that, or reach down. Exhale up, or inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, push into those feet, everybody. Last one, down. Inhale up. Exhale those hands to the floor or left hand to block. Twist to the right. Squeeze those inner thighs toward each other. Keep the hips level. Find your breath. Beautiful. Let that hand come back down. Step back. You know it. Pedal it out. Spread the fingers. Plank pose. Chaturanga. Oh, Cobra or Sphinx. Good. Lower down and pause for a moment. So just shake out your hips. Use your breath. Good. Plant both tops of your feet to the floor. So again, just this little subtle message. I want you to lift your right leg from the inner thigh. It's going to feel like something or nothing. Don't worry about it. And down, just two more. Lift from the inner thigh and down. Good. Last one, lift and down. Other side, lift from the inner thigh and back down. Squeeze up and down. Last one, right here and down. Good. While we're here, let's come to Sphinx because this is good core work and I don't want to forget it. Plant your hands. Draw the hands and elbows isometrically back. It's just going to lengthen through your chest and your low back. Press into your pubic bone. Now, bend or press into your knees and start to peel your belly away from the floor, your hips, your thighs. Hold. You're not lifting high at all. If you don't feel your core working, start over. Because I feel this every single time. Hold that belly in, find your breath, and then peel down slowly. Thighs, hips, and pubic bone. Good. We're going to do 4 more right there. Press into your hands. Inhale first. Exhale, dig into your knees, squeeze belly, lift. It's sort of a weird half plank, but it's not quite plank. You're working with your core. Breathe. And lower. See, I didn't want to miss core. You know, it's way too much fun, right? So glad, so glad. All right, here we go. Number 3, here we go. Push. Hold, hold, hold. Try to relax the upper body. Press into your forearms. Squeeze that belly in and lower. 2 more. Exhale. If you've had enough, then just take it down to the floor. No big deal. Squeeze tight, because if you're not, you might start to feel this in the back. And lower. We got 1 more. Exhale. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Breathe. And lower. Nice job, everybody. Lower your torso down. Take the hands under your shoulders. Push the elbows towards side body. Bend your knees. We're pressing up again. Lift up. It's like a reverse push-up, right? Let the toes come to the floor. Downward facing dog. I want you to take your feet wide on your mat and just stretch that out. Yep. Big deep breath. Take your left hand over to your right and then stretch out. Good. Take your left hand back where it was. Take your right hand over to your left. Just stretch, shoulder work. And back to neutral. Walk your hands back to your feet. Bend your knees and inhale, reach up. Exhale it. Shake it out. Yay! We are warmed up, are we not? All right, so we're going to start a sort of easier, again, balance work. If you want to be near a wall space or a surface, please do. Okay, So just find a good footing with your feet. It's a little tricky for me with the porch to make sure my feet aren't too unsteady. Take your hands to your hips. Think about this right hip for you all. Stand strong into your left hip, whoop, and just move it out to the side and back down again. Out, go slow, and out, ooh, and down, 2 more. Find your still point. Out, squeeze the outer hip, and out, and let go. Good. We're going to go to the other side. So firm up the standing leg, tone the belly. Here we go for 5. 1 and 2 and 3. Yep. 4. Keep the toes forward. 5 and come down. Back to the other side. We're going forward, not super high. We're just going to lift and lower for 5. So firm it up. Here we go. 1. And you can even use toe. 2, 3, 4. Yep. 1 more. 5 and lower. You're like, where is she going? Squeeze that side. Here we go. Lift. 1. Squeeze your belly. 2, 3. Yep. 4. 1 more. 5 and lower. Good. You know we got 1 left. I can't forget the back side. All right. So stand tall. Lean into your left foot or your right foot. Take the left one back. Now, here's the tricky part. So put your toe on the floor. Lift up tall. Try not to go into your lower back, but lift and hold. No pulsing, no nothing. Just lift and hold. Squeeze the belly in. Work through that standing leg. Hold, hold, hold. And release. And go to the other side. Stand tall. Reach back with your big toe. Hold, level out your hips. And when you're ready, lift. Hold. Hip extension work. Breathe. And lower. Good. Shake it out. All right. So that was the easy part. You're going to start in chair pose, and you want to be in the middle of your mat and sideways so you got that long mat. So turn sideways on your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Come into a modified chair pose. So modified meaning the arms are not going out. You don't have to squat deep. Your feet are separated, but they're closer together. Tailbone long, all that stuff that we always talk about. Now, from here, I want you to really focus on your left leg. I'm mirroring here. So focus on that and fire that baby up. How do you fire it up? Push your foot into the floor. Feel the squeeze of that outer hip. Come to the tippy toe of your right foot and bring it out to the side. You're on your toe. Yes. All right. So this is phase 1. If this is like, that's it for me, I want you to stay here. The trick is to not over lean to the left. I want you to see if you can lift your foot off the floor. Now you'll lean a little, but try to stay as centered over that left leg as possible. Breathe, still okay. Lift a little higher, toes point forward. Woo, yes. Lower the toe, step it in, stand up. Shake it out. Right? No. I know. Here we go. Inhale up. Exhale, chair. Hands can rest at the heart. Helps keep your kind of center of balance. Fire up the right leg. Peel the left toe heel off the floor. Squeeze your belly. Step it out to your big toe. Sit back. I didn't say that on the other side, and that's really important. So sit back, squeeze that right hip in, and just see if you can lift the foot without over leaning. Woo! See if you can lift higher without leaning. Lower the toes. Step it back in. Stand up. Yeah, baby, right? You know, we can't just do one. That would be crazy. Muscle memory. All right, here we go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair. Let me remind you on this side, sit back in your pose. Squeeze the legs towards center, tone that low belly and peel the foot off and step to the side. Reimagine that left foot standing, right? Plow into that left foot. See if you can lift the leg. Toes point forward. Breathe. See if it'll lift any higher. Keep the squat. Set the leg back. Stand up. Whew. Talk about some hip work. All right, other side. Inhale. Exhale to your heart. Little squat here, little chair pose. Everything tones in. Peel your left foot. Step it out to the side. Feel all four corners of your right foot. Sit back. Lift the foot. Breathe. Lift higher as an option. Set the foot back and stand up. Ooh, yeah, shake out those sides, right? That's where we feel it. Good work. All right, back to hips width apart feet. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, just a regular old chair. Use your breath. Lean forward, see if you can come onto the ball mounds of your feet. Keep the knees training toward each other like little weak magnets right here. Breathe. Only if you want the arms go up. Whew. If this is killing your feet, drop those heels. Good, hands back to heart. Lower the heels and stand up. Wow, right? It's amazing. All right, feet together. Inhale it up. Chair pose, how many ways? Roll the shoulders back, lengthen the tailbone. Options. Left hand to outer right knee and right arm up. If you're okay with the squat, elbow to knee, open both arms. Sit back in those heels. Find your breath. Take the hands back together. Take the body back to center. Inhale it up. Exhale, squat. Roll the shoulders, tone your belly. Remember, hand is an option, easier on the spine. Elbow, second option. Open the arms is a third option. You got it, everybody. Hands together. Come to center. Woo, stand it up. Inhale. Exhale, shake out the legs. We're almost done with this little chair series. How time flies when you're having fun. All right, I'll turn to the side just so you can see what this madness is about. You're gonna take your feet and or knees together. Knees are more important than feet, if you can. Again, everybody's built different. So inhale, take it up. Exhale, come to squat. Lengthen your lovely little tailbone, right? Because that tendency is to sit in that low back. Squeeze your belly, squeeze your knees together, lean forward, whoop, and lift your right leg or right foot, just your foot. Squeeze your belly, whoo, yeah. Breathe, release, inhale it up. Go right to the other side. First come down, good form is more important than anything. Squeeze the knees, lift the left foot. You're finding that little balance between leaning forward and keeping the weight back. Release and stand up. Exhale it out, shake it out. All right, grab your blocks. Here's where it all comes together. The big reveal. All right, so the blocks are at the front of your mat, on your mat. And whew, just take your hands to your blocks. The blocks are up nice and high. I want you to think about, and where these blocks are, by the way, is up to you. I like them a little bit more forward than some teachers teach them because that's more stable, and it's more stable for me. So I like that. So feel your inner thighs, right? Feel the sit bones lifting up, but at the same time, the belly tones in. When you're ready, shift into your left foot, peel your right foot, lift your right foot off the floor, press it down and back. So don't lift yet. You're standing on that left leg. Lift from your inner thigh and take the leg up. Start with a neutral leg, right? So it's just hanging out, pretty much out from the hip. And then lower it down slowly. Good. Belly tones, tailbone lengthens. Switch to the other side. I want the standing leg firm before the other one ever lifts. Peel, lift, take it down low but straight. And then see where you can lift. From the inner thigh, keeps those toes pointing down. Big deep breath. And lower down. Good. Bend your knees, hands to knees, and just come on up for a second. Let's redistribute the blood flow. All right, so that was phase one. If that was challenging, I want you to stay there and just play there, right? No big deal. Otherwise, you're going to step a little bit closer to your blocks. For me, because I'm kind of tall, I'm going to take the blocks down one level because otherwise they're just a little bit too tall for me. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down to the blocks. Shift into that right foot, tone the belly. Slide your left leg back. Start to lift the leg with your toes pointed. Bend the elbows, chest toward that standing leg. Breathe. And bend your standing leg. Release your lifted leg to the floor. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down. Other side, take it up. Exhale down to your blocks. Lift the sit bones, shift into your left foot, peel and slide your right leg. Point the toes, lift up, bend the elbows. Breathe. Bend the standing leg that just releases that leg. Release the long leg and stand up. Whew. Exhale. Shake it out. Everybody okay? I hope so. All right. That was phase two. Phase three. No blocks, ideally, or blocks low. So if you have trouble taking your hands to the floor, then use the blocks on low. If your forward fold is okay and you can take fingertips to the floor, then do that. If forward folds are not in your wheelhouse today, stay halfway. I should have said that from the beginning. All right, bend the knees, shift into your left foot, peel your right, slide it back, point the toes, lift up. So standing split work, right? Oh, it's tough stuff. So one, your hands stay where they are, your head drops to the floor, or your hands walk closer to your standing foot, makes it harder. Or you take your left hand to your left ankle. So you've got one hand, one foot. Breathe. Good. If the hand's lifted, readjust those hands. Take the hands forward. Bend your standing leg. Drop your long one. Bend in and come up. Exhale to your heart. I know, right? Just breathe. A lot of time, we have that head down a lot, and that can get a little like, brr. I don't know how some of those gymnasts do it. All right, here we go. Last one, I promise. Take it up. Exhale down. Pick your choice there, right? Open up the shoulders, soften the knees, stand on that right leg, slide the left leg up and back. Get your footing, tone your belly. Think about it. Maybe you go to flatter hands, head toward the floor. Maybe those hands go closer to your foot. Maybe your right hand goes to your ankle. Breathe. Release your hands, take them forward. Release your legs, holy gamoly. Hands to knees and come on up. It got warm out here. Take it out. Roll out your hips, everybody. Let's get some equilibrium, right? So get our bodies back upright. All right, and one little fun balance pose, and then we're done. You may differ on the fun part, but all right, so stand into the side again, and you take it to where you want to take it. Feet together, knees together. We were here already. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart, squat down. Squeeze the knees. Remember where we were. We lifted the right foot. That's phase one. Phase two, press the leg back. Breathe. Bring it back to your knee and lower. Stand up, right? So that's kind of cool, right? Sure, why not? Yeah, challenging and yet not too bad. All right, take it up. Let's finish it. Exhale to your heart. Nice long tailbone, belly squeeze, knees squeeze. That is important. All right, lift the left foot. Either stay here or reach the leg back. Breathe. Either stay, no, don't stay here. Bring the knee back to the knee. Release and take it up. Exhale it out. Whew, well done. Yay. Shake it out. And then grab both of your blocks. We're coming back to that same weird stretch. Legs are a little bit wider, toes are a little bit further out. Press them into your thighs. Reach them forward. Oh, and just chill right here. Big deep breath. Whew. Find your breath. All right. Bend your knees, turn the toes out, hands to blocks, and push up. Good job, everybody. Set your blocks aside. We're not going to need those anymore. Shouldn't need any of your props. We're going to come on down to the floor. So inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Step back, downward facing dog. Down dog should just feel marvelous at this point. And then down to your knees. And then roll right over to your back. Good. Just gonna turn this way. Keep your knees bent and just roll on down. Bring your knees to your chest. Stretch it out. Good. Right foot goes to the floor. Left leg goes up to the ceiling. Your hands are behind your thigh. Point your toes. If you would like, straighten the right leg. If you straighten the right leg, ground that leg to the floor. Maybe your hands reach to your shins. Draw the shoulders to the floor. And imagine pulling that leg back down into its hip socket. That's it. And then optionally here, I want you to bend the left knee, hold on to your left foot on the outside or your big toe. So this is a little half happy baby. Your arm is inside the leg. If this is a really hard one for you, just bend your right foot or right knee and let that foot stay on the floor. It'll give you a little bit more hip movement. Breathe. You can even roll that hip out, that left leg or hip out to the side and back. Just a little release of all that work we just did. Good, and then straighten the leg up to the ceiling again. Bend the knee, bring it to chest. Let the left foot come to the floor. Bend the right knee into your chest. Hands to the back of your thigh. Take the leg straight up, point your toes. You don't have to leave the toes pointed. We're just reversing some work. Good. Maybe the hands go up to your shins instead, your calves. Maybe the left leg straightens, maybe not. Just breathe. And then optionally, that right knee goes out to the right side, to the outside of your body. The knee bend, you're either holding on to the outside of your foot or your big toe. Keep grounding through the left leg or bend that knee. Maybe rock a little out and back in. And then straighten that leg up to the ceiling. Bend your left foot, let that come to the floor. Bring your right knee to your chest. Bring both knees to chest. Now, and we're going to come into happy baby. So again, your choices. This is just not a pose for everybody. So if you can, so the first way to do it is take both arms inside both legs. Reach for your feet and hold on to the outside edges of your feet. And see if that's possible. If that isn't possible, grab your big toes with your two peace fingers, your index and middle fingers, and take the soles toward the ceiling as if you were stepping on the ceiling. Your shins are parallel to each other. Your sacrum, right, is pressing down to the floor. If that is not going to happen today, just take your arms outside your legs and let the elbows wrap around the knees and take the hands toward the inside. They don't have to touch or anything. Just breathe. One more breath. Good. Take the legs together. Let your feet come to the floor. Pause. Lift the hips off the floor. Shift them over to the left edge of your mat. Just your hips. Bring the knees back to your chest and roll your knees to the right. So coming into just a simple twist here. Go easy. If that is too deep, I want you to take the top leg and just let that knee point up to the ceiling. Good. Just breathe, everybody. Arms are out to your sides. Your head is whichever way is comfortable. Deep breath. Good. Take the top knee up first. Take the bottom knee up. Both feet to the floor, shift into the middle space, and then shift your hips to the right edge of your mat. Knees back to chest. Roll the knees to the left, coming into a twist on this side. Just breathe, everybody. Good. Take the top knee up and then the bottom. Bring your hips back to center. Draw both knees to chest. Inhale right here. Exhale, curl your chin to your knees if you can. And release everything. Last one, curl in. And release. Hold your knees, push your knees away from you. Good. Hold on, resist. Release, feet to the floor. And then finally, Shavasana. Whew. The legs are wide, they're soft, they are going whichever way makes sense for you. If your low back is chatty, some of that was pretty tough work. Either the blocks go under your back thighs or back knees, or you just bend your knees and let your feet stay on the floor. Your chin is level. Your shoulders are melting down to the floor. And you're giving yourself permission to just release everything for the next few moments. Breathe. Soften down. Just let your mind soften with your body. Let go of any remaining tension in your jaw, your belly, your legs. If you can, soften even more. For those of you who would like to stay just a little longer, I know what a great day to be in Shavasana. Please stay. Just let my voice be background. Everyone else, just slowly start to move your body. And from Shavasana, bend the knees and just let the feet come to the floor. Pause there. Maybe a couple of pelvic tilts and tucks just to soften any tension in the low back. And then as you're ready, bend the knees, draw your knees to your chest. Rock side to side and curl those knees over to one side, coming to fetal pose. And then from fetal pose, press all the way up, coming back to your seated pose. And from here, your hands to your heart, bow to your own inner grace and wisdom. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.